everyone, Gabriella here today, and I'm doing a mini album with Quick Quotes, Want2Scrap, and Xyron. So I'm going to start by measuring my mini album. It's 8 inches across and it's 6 inches high, we'll say, for this one. And since the paper is 12 by 12, we can get two strips for this from each sheet. So the collection I'm using here is the Winter Bliss collection. It's new from Quick Quotes and it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. The colors are so pretty. So like I said, I'm going to cut straight down the center here so that each strip that I get will be 12 inches by 6 inches. And I'm going to show you here that I'm measuring them one more time just to be sure that this is correct before I start cutting paper and I've gotten the measurements wrong. So we're good there. So I'm going to start cutting these all in half. So as I'm doing these, it doesn't matter which side you cut them on because all of your sheets are going to be symmetric. So now that I'm done, I'm going to trace my sheet from my album onto this strip of paper, and then I'm going to cut out 2, maybe 3 sheets at a time just to get this done a little bit faster. You don't want to really cut more than that because then you might mess up your cutting. And these are slightly bigger because they were traced, so the cutout is a little bit bigger, but that's going to be good, and you'll see why in a few minutes. So I'm cutting the center here for the first sheet. Looks like an actual like camera with a lens, so I'm just sort of making slits there so that I can fold them back once I get ready to attach this to the piece of chipboard. So I'm running everything through my Xyron, and this is the 9-inch and 5-inch Creative Station. So it's that combo machine, and it's easier to just run them straight through the 8 inches like long way, so that way you're only using 6 or 7 inches of adhesive at a time. So I'm running these all through in the same order that I expect to use them. So when I peel them off, I'm going backwards. So that's the back cover that I'm doing first, and the front cover's at the bottom. So this way I know I have them all lined up. So I just kind of burnish the paper a bit and then stick it on there. So this is the very last one that I was doing. So this is the cover, and that's me peeling back all of the pieces that I cut out in the center to fold them under, and then I'm going to adhere the back to it. So I said earlier that I cut these a little bit bigger when I trace them, and that's so that once they go on, I can just take a craft knife and just cut off all of the excess edges and then punch my holes through the paper, and everything looks really neat and really clean. So this did take a while. I'm going to be honest, it probably took about an hour or so just to do this part, but the end result was really, really clean, really nice. And it looks like I'm going fast here, but I really took my time because I was trying to be careful. So for this one, I'm cutting out the center here, and this was honestly the most difficult one to do. But since I did this one last, it was also the one that I was the fastest doing because I'd already done about 6 or 7 of these before this. So now I decided that I wanted that front cover to actually look like a camera and a camera lens. So I'm taking some of my scraps from earlier that I used from all of the 12 by 12 sheets that I cut, and I'm making some little concentric cutouts there, and I'm going to use those to outline the frame of the hole in the center to make it look like an actual camera lens. When I did this, I realized that I needed a little bit of craft foam, so I'm cutting out circles that will fit inside of the paper so you can't see them, but also so it'll give the faux frame a little bit of dimension. So I cut out 2 pieces of clear acetate as well, and I'm going to show you now how I'm going to assemble that. So again, I just ran these through my Xyron, so because that way it was easier for me. The only thing I had to glue down then was the acetate. Everything else would just stick on by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue around that circle and then put my acetate down. And then I'm going to set that block on top of it to just sort of press it down so that it can dry. So anything heavy will work here. I just happen to have that acrylic block handy. So that I'm using Ranger Multi Matte Medium, and it dries really quickly. So now I'm putting my craft foam there, and then I'm getting my piece of paper for the frame. And I did the back side first because I wanted to put some sequins on the inside And I mean, you could have done the front first, but I just did the back first. And sort of make it like a little shaker window there. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm using my multi-medium all around. Then I'm going to put my piece of acetate on. And you can use any acetate here. And then I'm going to let it dry, put my piece of craft foam on. And you want to be kind of careful here because that's clear. So you don't want a lot of adhesive to show through on the other side. And then finally, I'm going to put my last piece of, my head's in the way, paper on. So that's going to be the cover of my album. And so the picture that's going to go behind that, you can see right there. So now my shaker window is right there. I've put the rings in, and this is how I decorated some of the pages. This is just an idea to give you guys an idea of what it would look like once you do this. So I'm going to still put some more pictures in here, but I also used a chipboard cutout, and I put glitter on the best day, and I left the ever chalked up with some powder puff chalking ink. I used some bling there, and I used a little bit of washi tape here and another piece of scrap to make a pocket, and then I just took an ink dauber with some of the chalking ink there to make that pattern on the back. That Live, Laugh, Love chipboard cutout is also from Want2Scrap, as well as that key and lock. And I also made another tiny pocket there, and there's space for a picture on the last page. So that is the entire album. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this inspires you to make your own mini album, because really you could use any chipboard album for this. Thanks a lot, guys. If you like it, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.